Alright, so I haven't really been so keen on doing any reviews for a while, but I figured I would do one because I was kind of inspired to do one, and um, it's going to be about the Whitechapel's new album, Mark of the Blade. And a little bit of, I guess I'll give you a little bit of background of my history with Whitechapel. Started listening to them about 2007 when Somatic Defilement came out. I didn't even know they had demos before that, but I actually was able to find those on YouTube. And so basically, I've listened to their entire discography, everything from the demos to Our Endless War, and now um, Mark of the Blade. And recently, they just released a full album stream of the album on, I forget, I think it's what is this called? SoundCloud. They released it on SoundCloud. No, I did not steal the songs. I'm hoping a YouTube playlist gets posted soon. So getting into a little bit of the album, I personally thought that um, maybe I was going in with a little bit too high of expectations after the past. I would say Our Endless War was people have talked crap about that album. It's oh, it's such a departure from their roots on Somatic Defilement. Um, it's it's just not good. I completely disagree with that statement. I thought the production was stellar. I thought Phil Bozeman's vocals really came through. I thought the songwriting was the most creative it's been. Um, you know, I mean, songs like Diggs Road, and uh, I would say I did not skip a single song on that album. I thought they had found they really that was, I think, you know the first three albums were good. I thought the self-titled had a couple standout tracks, but nothing really to write home about. And then I think they really kind of came through with a rebirth. And I think Mark Lewis really helped them find their sound on that album. Um, so I just have to say I disagree with the hate on that album. But anyway, getting to more Mark of the Blade esque things. So I first heard the title track, Mark of the Blade, when it was released back in April, I believe. Um, I liked the opening riff. I thought it was cool. Um, I mean, as far as the lyrical content, I don't know if it's just a question of lack of ideas, or it's just, I don't know if Whitechapel is kind of getting burned out. I mean, they are 6 albums in. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, it does take a toll on you after a while. I mean, full-time touring bands. I mean, you come into a band with ideas, and you know, it's hard. It's always hard to write songs. And that's I'm not in a band, but I know from listening to different bands talk. I mean, Our Last Night's drummer mentioned this in one of their interviews. It's always hard to come up with something. I mean, you know, and also, I mean, bands don't just write the 11 songs that are on the album. They write about 15, maybe 16. Um, and I understand it's hard to come up with ideas, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure why. Uh, the album, it's not bad. I don't want to say that it's bad, because I'm not painting I don't want to paint it in a negative light. I just don't know where they were trying to go with it. It's the production. I was actually excited to hear that they were working with Mark Lewis again, but I don't. There's not enough vocal variety. I mean, where are Phil Bozeman's highs? I just don't. I'm not really seeing it. I mean, it seems to be like an album that was completely overproduced. Um, it just his vocals just sound muddled in the mix with the the guitars. I mean, and I was listening to it, some of it again before, and it actually is starting to grow on me. And I mean, maybe this album will be a grower, and I welcome that. I do. Um, and I actually like the singing vocals on what is it? Take Me Home, Bring Me Home, and the last track, which you can't really hear them, but they're there. Um, and but I really don't. I don't know. It was almost like they were trying too hard to be produced. I mean, metal is supposed to be real. It's supposed to be raw, raw vocals, and I really think they mastered that on our endless war. His vocals were raw. They were, and his it was very well produced as an album. You really, you could even really hear what he was saying, even though he was screaming it. But this just kind of sounds muddled together. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I think it's a grower, but I don't see this having the staying power that our Endless War and other entries in their discography had. As far as that, and three guitarists really. Um, I don't know. It's really. I don't really understand why they need three guitarists. I mean, I've watched the Brotherhood of the Blade documentary, and I don't know. I feel like their sound should be so much more complex with three guitarists. Um, and I mean, I respect every member of that band, but three guitarists, I don't really know if you really need it. I mean, what is the third guitarist playing? I mean, it's like strumming that same note. I mean, it sounds like it could have been written by one person. I don't know, and I mean, Ben Savage is a pretty technical guitar player. I give him that, and I respect the band. I really do. It's just I don't know. This just kind of sounds like a kind of huddled mess of overproduction, and Phil seems to be relying only on lows and mids. Where are those highs that were on our endless war? I don't know if these songs have the kind of staying power that songs like Diggs Road and Blackout and Psychopathy had on our endless war. I mean, I don't really. I think this is just going to have to be a grower. And the thing is, you have to, now that the album's out, it's either going to grow on you or you're not going to listen to it. I mean, and now we have to wait another 2 years to see what they can do next time. You know, I honestly think Whitechapel should do a concept string of EPs, maybe. Maybe like release an EP in 2017, and then maybe release an EP in the next year. Because waiting 2 years for music, um, an album has to have the staying power to get the listener through 2 years. Full-time touring bands, 2 to 3 years usually. But I don't know. I'm a little skeptical about this album. How I mean, I'm open to it growing on me, and I still respect the band. I know that they've put a lot of work into their career, and I really hope that it does grow on me. I mean, it's just, Whitechapel releases were something that I always look forward to, and I just feel like something's missing from this album. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and I even like the instrumental Brotherhood, and I like the clean vocals, and I actually like his singing voice. I like when bands try something new. I'm not against um, evolving, but I feel like this is a step backward for them. So let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section. Hopefully, if some of the people that used to watch my videos, I haven't posted in a while, so yeah, let me know.